Thanks so much for tuning in today. This is a yoga for healing class. Remember that my live schedule here on YouTube stays totally free and accessible for everyone, so tune in and practice regularly. The high quality replays, commercial free, are always on omstars.com. Remember that your support really does mean the world to me, so you can check out ways that you can support my teaching on my website, KinoYoga.com, and I have some live workshops, and I'm going to be having a live beginner course coming up soon. Now, let's get started with practice. Come to a comfortable seated position. Close your eyes as we begin this yoga for healing and balance practice. Bring your hands together at the level of the heart and feel the contact of your hands. Allow yourself a long and steady deep breath in. Keeping the eyes closed, let your hands rest down to any comfortable position. Notice the quality of your breath, the quality of your mind and your emotions. Notice the feeling in the body. There might be places that you notice that are in need of healing, balance that needs to return to the body or the mind. Trust that as we move through the practice today, there will be a portal that opens to both healing and balance. Then allow your eyes to gently open. And as you exhale, slowly open the eyes. And now we'll begin with some light joint mobilizations that really help you begin your yoga journey from wherever you are. So inhale, let's take the arms out to a T shape and we'll hold that for 5 breaths. This helps you bring energy up through the spine and length through the shoulder girdle. And we'll hold this nice and steady. 1, 2, steady deep breaths. 3, 4, keep the mind nice and calm. 5, exhale, let's drop the hands down. Shake out the shoulders, and we're going to add a little movement into this. So inhale, return the arms out to a T shape, and then let's roll the shoulders in little circles forward. And just keep rolling through, nice and easy, nice and easy. Now, for those of you that have been tuning in every week, you might notice that the set today in our studio here is just a little bit brighter. So do leave me a comment and let me know if you like our new lights. Come on back to the center, and then we're going to roll in the other direction. So keep rolling, 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 rolling in the opposite direction, breathing, feeling nice and easy. And here we go, back to a T shape, and exhale, drop it down. Okay, let's shake it out. And then we're going to do it one more time to really bring energy through the shoulders. Inhale, arms back out to a T shape. This time we'll do a little differently. Press the heels of the hands outward and spread your fingertips apart. We'll hold this for 5 breaths. 1, nice and easy. 2, 3, steady breathing, and just keep feeling the breath. And so one of the reasons I like to count the breaths is I'm encouraging you to breathe slower and deeper each time so you can regulate your breath. As you regulate your breath, you regulate your nervous system. Let's point the fingers down, and then again, press out through the heels of the hands. This time, start to elevate your chest a little bit, and then drop your head over to the left, and then just kind of work that right arm a little bit. Stay there for a moment. Up and down a little with the right hand. Inhale, back to the center. Now let's go head to the right, and we start to just move a little forward and back, up and down with the left, freeing the neck. Okay, back to the center, elevate the chest, and then exhale, drop it down. Okay, let's shake that out for a moment. Then rolling through the shoulders. So let's squeeze the shoulder blades together at the back, lift the shoulders up to the ears and down. So this is a shoulder roll. Squeeze together, up to the ears, forward and down. Do it 3 more times. Fluidly now, move through the joint capsule. Give me 2 more. Fluidly roll through the joint capsule. Last one. Fluidly roll. Let's go in the other direction. Lift up to the ears, squeeze together and down. Up to the ears, squeeze together and down. Let's do 1 more. Up to the ears, squeeze together and down. Then just easy, shake that out for a moment. Now, let's start working a little bit on feeling articulation and movement through your hips. I don't always start off with this, but it's something that can really just help you feel orientation, movement inside the hip joints. So exhale as you pop on over to your side, and we're just gonna lie neatly on the side with the knees stacked into each other. Then feeling the right hip joint, let's draw the right knee into the chest and just hold that there for a few breaths. Steady breathing here. And just feeling the hip joint coming online, and then exhale, set it down. Let's do it 1 more time. Draw the right knee into the chest and just hold that there. So there are a couple of things going on. We have a hip flexion on the right side, as well as a little bit of a side bend. Really press into the left arm a little, and then exhale, set it down. We're gonna do it 1 last time and add in a little extra movement. If you're feeling any sensitivity on the left side, you could go all the way flat or put a nice big soft pillow under your hip. Right knee into the chest, and then we're gonna work external hip rotation. So just hug your right knee out to the side, and then hold that there for a few breaths. Keep it nice and easy. The belly draws in. Release your hand and see if your leg can stay there on its own. And we're just recruiting a little bit of hip action, a little bit of hip movement. You can even just kind of toggle the knee back and forth a little bit, just feeling action inside the hip joint. And then exhale. Let's put the legs back together. Then we'll pop on over to the other side. So exhale, come over on to the right side, and then inhale, draw the left knee into the chest. Hold that there for a few breaths, and again, remember you're working joint mobilization, so really feel the left hip joint. Exhale, let's put it down. Okay, we'll do it again. Left knee pops into the chest, hold it there. So you get that little bit of a side bend, a side lean, while at the same time hip flexion, which means the hip joint is closing at the front. Exhale, let's set it down. Draw the knee into the chest, and then now give me that external hip rotation. Hold your hip in place with the hand for a moment, then release. Come onto the ball of your left foot, and let's just hold that there for a couple breaths. Keep it nice and easy. And just feel movement coming in through the hip joints. Movement coming in through the hip joints. Nice and easy. Exhale, let's set it down. Come on back up. And then let's go on over to the other side. We're gonna drop on to the left side. And again, if this is uncomfortable to be up, it hurts anywhere on the left side, please grab a pillow or lie all the way flat, okay? Now, we're gonna work through, again, just some easy hip mobilization. So the movement we went through before, now we're gonna do it without the hands. Inhale, draw the right knee into the chest. Exhale, lift it up. Draw it back into the chest, put it down. So now just start to roll through the hip joint. Roll through, knee into the chest, spiral out to the side. Knee into the chest, spiral out to the side. Knee into the chest, spiral out to the side. 2 more. Knee into the chest, spiral out to the side. Knee into the chest, spiral out to the side. And hold it. Okay, so the foot points down, the knee points up, and we'll just hold that there for a couple breaths. Really find that strength and mobility inside the hip joints, and then exhale, let's set it down. Inhale, pop on up, and we'll just roll on over to the other side, and then rolling through those same motions, just without the hands. So healthy to get movement, mobility, and flexibility into the hip joints. Left knee into the chest, spiral it out. and down. We'll just keep rolling through those hip spirals. Again, rolling through with consciousness in the legs. Let's do that a few more times. Enjoy the movement. It's as though you're saying to your legs, hello, my legs. Hello, my hip joints. There you are. I love you. I'm just here to check in with you. Maybe you need strength. Maybe you need flexibility. Hold it up. But what you want to say to your hips and come onto the ball of the foot like that is just, I love you, hips. Here you are. Nice and easy. Take a moment and just feel, and then inhale back to the center. Okay, then come on over onto your hands and knees. Drawing the knees together. Stay there for a moment. Now that you've said hello to your hip joints, we'll pop on back to child's pose. Exhale, drop the hips back, placing the top of the head towards the ground, feeling the hips, feeling the shoulders, feeling the whole body just soften and release. Long, steady, deep breaths in, long, steady, deep breaths out. Steady, deep breathing, mind is calm, equanimous, evenly focused. And let's inhale, lift the head up, open through the shoulders, open the knees, and let's roll through a little bit of cat and cow to mobilize the spine. Inhale as you roll through the spinal extension. Exhale as you round and pull it under. Inhale, feel each joint of the spine extending. Exhale as you round and pull it all the way under. Let's do it a few more times. Inhale as you roll through the spine. Exhale as you round and pull it under. Give me one more. Inhale, roll through the spine. Exhale all the way under. Curl the toes under, soften through the back. Stay there for a moment. Activate the pelvic floor. And the low belly muscles draw in. Then inhale, we're going to come up to downward facing dog. So straighten through the legs and press the hips back and up. So again, every posture is just a hello to the body. Hello, my body. How you doing? Here we are in downward facing dog. Yay. Thank you so much for the opportunity to practice. You might want to bend the knees for a moment. Feel the shins, feel the ankles and the calf muscles. Then again, straighten the legs. So hold that again, couple breaths. 2. Remember, elongate the breath. 3. Widen through the shoulders. Pelvic floor sends the hips back and up. And 5. To the plank pose. So from your tabletop position, which is your hands shoulder width apart, your spine drawn up into the center, let's step one leg back, tuck your tailbone under, and then inhale, step the left leg back and come on up to plank pose. We'll hold plank for 5 breaths. Squeeze your glutes together, activate your thighs, deep breathing. So this is a posture where it's common to accelerate the breath. I want you to slow your breath down, just slow it down. Widen through the upper back, slow the breath down. Okay, let's sink the knees down, and then exhale, bend your elbows until your chest comes close to the ground as we modify for Chaturanga Dandasana, the push-up position. Exhale all the way down. Point your feet. Let's come on up to Cobra pose. So walking the elbows in front of the shoulders. Inhale, lift the center of the chest up. We'll stay here for 5 breaths. 1. Deep, steady breaths. 2. So remember that long counting helps you equalize and elongate the breath. 3. 4. Let's go for one more long, deep breath in. And exhale, soften down for a moment. Let's just place the forehead down. Relax the whole body. Next, let's make the transition to upward facing dog. So lift your kneecaps off the ground. Head pops up a little, walk the hands back. And then send the chest forward and up. wrapping the elbows back, soften the butt muscles, curl the toes a little under but keep them pointed, and then fully point the feet as you come up to upward facing dog. Let the neck be elongated, press up through the shoulders, the belly draws in, and then exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing. So right when you get to the top of the feet, you can press the feet back, and if you feel you're too long or the posture's too long, you can walk the feet a little in so that you can feel more comfortable. But don't go too narrow, otherwise it turns more into a forward bend, less into the pivot point that downward dog represents. All right, be here for a couple breaths. Long, steady breaths in, your mind calm, inwardly focused. Roll the shoulders away from each other, deep, steady breathing. Check in with the mind, check in with the body. And let's switch your gaze forward. Press up into the shoulders. We're going to walk the feet all the way forward between the hands. Lift the center of the chest. And then exhale, fold forward. Drop your head down. Inhale, let's stand up. Hands by your side. Come on up to Samasthitihi. Then, standing for a moment, feel the connection of breath to body in the standing position. Notice the soles of the feet. Notice the feeling through the legs, through the chest. Feel the whole body. Take a moment here, orienting towards the center line of the body. And now we'll go through one Surya Namaskar A or Sun Salutation A. Inhale, raise the arms by rolling the humerus, the arm bone back, and then elevating the arms, gazing up to the thumbs, and then exhale, pivot from the hip joints as you fold forward, dropping the head down. Trini, inhale, the third breath in Sanskrit as you lift the chest forward. We're going to step back to plank. So exhale, come on back to plank pose. You find your plank pose, you're real strong, you can go right down into your push-up. Otherwise, let's sink those knees. And then exhale, modify your chaturanga, come on down. Inhale, upward facing as you lift your knees off the ground, rolling through your spinal extension. Exhale, roll over the toes, pressing back to downward facing. Step in forward, find the good position, and we'll stay here for 5 breaths. Really elongate the breath, lifting the hips, back and up. Softening through the rib cage, keep the mind calm, inwardly focused, steady breathing, steady deep breaths. And let's go for one more long deep breath in from the base of the pelvis. And as you exhale, let's switch the gaze forward. You're going to walk the feet forward as you inhale. So start to inhale as you walk those feet forward between the hands. Lift the chest up. Exhale, fold forward. Come on down. Inhale, stand up. And as you stand up, raise your arms. Reach up. Samasthitihi equals standing pose. Okay, we're going to do that one more time. Inhale, raise your arms. Reach up. Exhale, pivot through the hip joints as you fold forward and down. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, let's come on back to plank. Find your plank position. From plank, you can sink the knees down, bending the elbows for chaturanga. Inhale, rolling forward to upward facing as the spine lifts up out of the pelvis. Exhale, roll over the toes, pressing back, and you can walk it a little in until you feel a good position for your downward facing dog. Then the navel draws in, the spine elongates out of the pelvis, and you find that moment of balance and peace. Feeling what's right for your body, feeling this moment. No need to push it any harder or deeper. Just be here in what is in this moment. Let's go for one more long, deep breath in. And switch your gaze forward. Inhale, let's just gently walk those feet between the hands. Try to keep the hands flat, but if you need to pop them up, it's okay. Chest forward. Exhale, fold. Head down. Inhale, stand up, and as you come up, raise your arms. Samasthitihi. Pause for a moment and feel that inner fire just getting gently turned on. Notice the connection of breath and body. Take a moment and feel everything. Then gently open the eyes and inhale. Let's take a step out to the right and give me a relatively wide stance. Then let's turn the right hip joint out. So remember from the beginning movements that we did, you're going to find that external rotation of the hip joint. Equalize the pelvis, bend the right knee down. So really take a moment and feel the strong position with the legs. Draw the navel in, then roll through the right hip joint, hooking the forearm. Stabilize your right forearm, and then extend the left arm. If you want to pop your right hand to the floor and the outside of the foot, you're most welcome to. But otherwise, we'll just stay here breathing. You can switch the gaze to the left fingers. Hold this for a couple breaths. Calm the mind, keep it nice and steady. Really regulate the breath, keeping the navel drawn in. Feel the connection between mind and body. Feel the inner space of the body and attenuate the mind to the space between the thoughts. So instead of identifying with the thoughts, start to identify with the space between the thoughts. Try that as we breathe. Soften the neck whenever you need, and let's drool. Left shoulder down and inhale. Come up. Straighten the right leg. Let's pivot around to the other side. You can drop the hands for a moment. Feel that external rotation, the hips level. Bend the left knee. Really draw the navel in. And fold the torso into the left hip joint, coming on to that left forearm, and stabilize through the left shoulder. Then roll through the right shoulder, interacting with the floor with the legs, gazing to the right fingers, and we'll hold this for a couple breaths. Nice and easy. Keep drawing the navel in, and again, tune into the place where body and mind connect. Tune into your inner state of harmony. Taking the moment to feel what is. Allowing the mind to slowly get more comfortable in the gap between your thoughts. Then let's go for one more long, deep breath in. And as you exhale, drop the right shoulder down. Inhale, come up, spread your arms. Keep the legs open. Keep them nice and open. Then turn again, that right hip joint out. Drop your hands down, and then slowly bend the knee again. Layer the left arm around and inhale, reach behind for a nice light side body stretch. And we'll hold this for a couple breaths. 1. Lift the rib cage up. No reason to hit it super hard. 2. Feels more comfortable to just dangle your arm down. That's fine as well. 4. Feel the legs nice and steady. Feel the little heat turning on. 5. Okay, now spin your pelvis forward, and you can take a moment and just reorient. So now we go for warrior 1 on the right side. So now the pelvis is stable and square. Hands come into prayer position. Inhale, reach the arms up, open the elbows and open the hands and just gaze straight ahead. So we're really working the legs, trying to find the epicenter of your balance point and the power and strength of the legs. Hold it for one more breath. Your thighs are burning. It's okay. And then let's drop the hands down. Inhale, come on back up. Orient to the center. Spread the arms. And then let's go for the left side and drop. And we start off kind of in warrior 2. Layer the left hand around. If you can't reach, just dangle the arm behind you. Then inhale, glide across the center. And go for that light side body stretch. Gaze is anywhere that's comfortable for you. Remember, really don't hit it too hard. You start to feel like a cramp in your back muscles. You're squeezing too hard. Instead of squeezing, lengthen, lengthen, and just be with what is. All is good, all is well. No need to force, just the breath. Exhale, let's drop down. Then stabilize your legs a little. You can wiggle your feet into a position that works for you. Squaring the pelvis over the left side, hands in prayer. Feel your legs nice and stable. Then inhale, raise the arms, warrior one. Strong and powerful from the center of the pelvis. Rise up. Feel that balance point in the center of the pelvis. Keep breathing. Keep feeling. Keep breathing and feeling. Feel the legs. If they're burning, that is all right. Nice and easy. Hands in prayer. Stay there for a moment. We're oriented forward. Exhale, take your hands on the ground. Inhale back to plank position. Hold your plank for me. Stable, easy. You can go down to chaturanga or sink the knees down and exhale, modifying chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Always welcome to go for cobra instead at any time. Exhale, downward facing. Deep breaths. Switch your gaze forward. Inhale, let's walk the feet all the way back forward between the hands, chest forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up. Again, we find ourselves in samasthiti, and now we'll begin one of the balancing postures. So as you think about your balancing posture, really start to remember that your balance comes from your center of gravity. And where your center of gravity is distributed will make a really big difference on if you balance or not. So if your center of gravity is rolling all over the place, you have a really hard time balancing. So just for a moment, bring your attention to the very base and center of the pelvis and just notice the weight distribution of the pelvis over the feet. Then we're going to work on the tree pose. And tree pose is a single leg balance that involves an external rotation of your hip joint. So let's work that out. Externally rotate the right hip joint and start off by keeping the ball of the foot on the ground. If you have stressed balance, you can hold onto a chair or a wall. Otherwise, just stay here and feel your center and hands in prayer. And this is what I would call the planted tree pose, where you're still actually balancing on two legs, even though one leg is a little challenged. If this feels comfortable, you can slide that foot up to the calf muscle. Okay, hold that there for a few breaths. If this feels good, you can deepen your tree and lift the foot all the way up onto the left inner thigh. We'll see if we can hold this for 5 breaths. Really control your center of gravity by activating the pelvic floor. And if you fall out, forgive yourself, you just try again. It is all good. If your balance is super, inhale, let's raise the arms. Remember, if you fall out, just laugh, forgive yourself. Don't take it too seriously. It's just a yoga practice. We're here to learn balance. And guess what? You learn balance best when you fall. When you pick it back up, a little bit stronger, a little bit more information, you try again. Okay, let's take the hands back to prayer. Good job. Samasthiti. Back to standing. You're feeling that the standing leg is working really hard, totally normal. Let's try the other side. And the second side is always harder because it's been worked a little bit. So let's try, do your best. Find the external rotation. We start with the planted tree. So this also has the added benefit of stretching your left toes. When the left toes get stretched, flexibility in the feet just is so helpful in yoga. So find your center of gravity and shift it over the right leg, then hands in prayer. And if this is challenging, you can hold onto a wall or a chair or something else that's stable. But if you feel you got a little more, you can take your tree from planted to sprouting. Make sure that you don't push your foot against your knee so that the arch of the foot is resting on the calf muscle. If everything feels good, let's glide that foot all the way up to the inner thigh. And then again, hands in prayer. And if you find yourself bobbling and teetering over to the side, remember, all is well. You learn balance best in those little moments when we fall, not when everything goes your right way. Okay, let's inhale, raise the arms up to really challenge the tree, really blooming like the big canopy of the tree through the arms. Stay there for a moment, enjoy the moment, enjoy the moment. Here we are. And then exhale, slowly bring the hands down. No force, just feeling. If you fell out, remember you forgive yourself. You try it again. All is well. Exhale, let's slide all the way down. Okay, we're going to do one more balancing pose. Balancing poses can be pretty difficult, but we're going to try, okay? Then To prepare for our next balancing pose, take your feet hips width apart and let's just work our forward fold. Draw in the navel and then exhale, pivot forward, layering your arms over each other and drop the head down. Stay here for 5 breaths. 1. Remember, long breaths. 2. No force, just feeling. 3. Lean a little forward. 4. Almost there. Few moments just to soften the spine. 5. Relax your hands down. Let's grab hold of the big toes. Inhale, straighten the arms. Soft bend in the knees for a moment if you want. Then straighten the legs. Long, deep breath in. And as you exhale, pivot forward and down. Soft neck. 5 more breaths and really lean into it. All right, remember, don't force it. Just find where your body wants to go. Steady, deep breaths. All is well. Find the space between your thoughts. Find the feeling underneath the skin in the inner body. And inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale there. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, just shake that out for a moment. Okay, now start off with your feet relatively close together. If you know that balance is a little challenged for you, grab hold of a chair or go closer to a wall. Then inhale, let's draw the right knee up into your chest. Hold it there, keep it nice and stable. We're gonna go for the single leg lift. And so now you can stay here just holding onto the knee with both hands. Or if you feel comfortable, you can reach down and hold on to your foot with both hands and straighten the leg. And we'll just hold this for a couple breaths just like this. Keep drawing the hip joint back. I like to look down. I feel like this really helps. If you cannot straighten the leg, you could use a strap or you could just go back to holding the knee. And we'll just hold this here. Keep breathing. This is hard. If you fell out, remember, you forgive yourself. You try again. I got a little hard surprise for you. Slowly release your leg. Hands to the waist. Exhale. Come on down. Okay, let's shake it out. How'd you do? This is hard, right? So remember, balance is something that you learn best when it doesn't actually work out for you. Okay? So here we go again. Let's do the other side. Inhale, let's draw the left knee up into the chest. And when you draw the knee into the chest, make sure it tracks sort of in line with the hip. So don't wing it out to the side. You're just gonna pull it in, okay? So we just hold it in like this. Hold it steady, keep the gaze down. Be very honest with yourself. If this is pretty challenging, maybe don't try for more. Right? There's no competition. It's not a competition. There's no Olympic yoga team that we're trying to make. We're just doing this for healing and balance in the body. And balance starts in the mind, accepting where you are. Hold on to your foot only if that's accessible, and then we straighten the leg. And then find the balance point where you're working into whatever flexibility you have, but not overdoing it. Keep the gaze down and just hold that steady. Mind is calm. Almost there, strong pelvic floor. Okay, let's let go. Hold it for a moment, and then exhale, let's set it down. Okay, let's shake that out. Orient on back towards the front of your mat. Samastitihi, wash through the emotions, wash through the sensations in the body, constantly orienting to the space between your thoughts, into the soft, steady flow of vibration underneath the skin. Softly open the eyes. Inhale, raise your hands above the head. Reach up. Exhale, pivot from the hip joints. Fold forward and down. Inhale, reach the chest forward. Exhale, let's come on back to plank pose. Find your plank position. Hold your plank position. All right, let's drop the knees and exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. From downward facing now, we're going to transition to sitting on the mat. So you can look forward, drop the knees to the ground, cross your feet underneath you, and then roll through the hip joints and sit down. Stretch out the legs nice and long, flexing the feet. And as you flex the feet, press the hands near the pelvis and elevate the chest. And we'll stay here for 5 breaths. Spread your toes and lift the center of the chest up as high as you can. And again, keep breathing, soften the neck. Long, steady breaths. Mind is calm, inwardly focused. Steady breathing. Really feel your breath, your body. Let it take whatever road of inhalation and exhalation, the inflowing and the outgoing breath. Work the thighs, we're almost there. Okay, let's switch the gaze forward. Hands on the shins, or if it's comfortable for you, fingers on the toes. Inhale, lengthen the spine as you draw the belly in. And then exhale, pivot forward and down. Drop the head down, lift the kneecaps up, and we'll stay here for 5 breaths. So if you feel any kind of pressure at the hamstring attachment, back off a little bit. But if you feel that you just need to kind of wiggle to relieve some of that flesh that gets stuck under your forward bend, wiggle around. Soften through the shoulders as you drop the head down. Keep the mind calm, no force, just feeling. Steady breathing. Let's go for one more long, deep breath. And then inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale there. Inhale, lift your torso back up. Cross your feet underneath you. Hide the feet under your thighs. You're going to point the feet and then roll over the shins. Let's take the hands forward and let's step on back to plank pose. Again, plank. Find your plank position for a moment. We're going to work plank just for a little fun right here. Okay. Let's go for side plank on the left side. So roll over onto the left side and raise that right arm. And we'll hold for 5 breaths. Keep the navel drawn in, and if it's comfortable for you, you can switch your gaze up. And remember, we're just staying here for 5 breaths. Draw the navel in. The mind is nice and calm. Nice and easy, almost there. And then let's step the left foot back. Push your pelvis forward. Stay on the ball of the left foot and just reach for a nice, easy side lean, just like a half version of this posture. Many people call the wild thing. Just think about it as a light side stretch. Hold it for a moment and then drop through the right hip. Inhale, come on back to plank pose. Find your plank position for me. Drop the knees down. Way down to the ground. Inhale, upward facing, long, deep breath in. Exhale, downward facing. From downward facing, let's come on back to plank. Find your plank position. Then let's go for the right side. Stack the whole body along the right side and inhale, come on up. A nice stable side plank. If you want to take any variation of this you find fun, feel welcome to. But remember, don't force the body. Just feel. We'll be here for like 3 more breaths. Feel the strength coming through the internal obliques. Your ribs pull in. Okay, that's good. Left ball of the foot moves back. Then start to push the pelvis up and reach with no goal. Just lengthen through the body and reach, 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 reach. Switch the gaze down, drop the pelvis down. Inhale, come on back to plank. Oh, plank, hello, I love you. You're so good. Exhale, chaturanga, or all the way down. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. From downward facing, settle for a moment. Allow yourself a deep breath. And as you exhale, let's sink the knees down. Keeping the knees down, find a good distance. You might want to walk a little bit back on your mat for what we're going to do next, so you can have your floor space. Inhale, extend your right leg back. Then slide the right leg around, and so just work the external rotation again. Slide it back and see if you can reach a little internal rotation. Inhale, slide on the floor and see about that external rotation. Exhale, slide it back. And again, we roll through the hip joint as we inhale. Exhale, slide it back. 2 more. Inhale, roll through the hip joints. Exhale, slide it back. Last one. Inhale, roll through the hip joint. Flatten it on out to the side. Walk your hands forward. And exhale, thread the needle to the left side. So drop the left shoulder down and extend your right finger. Hold for a couple breaths. Nice and easy. Steady breathing. Find the space between the thoughts. Find the space underneath the skin. Calm the mind. Steady breath. Almost there. And press into the right hand as we move it back. Inhale, come on back to the center. Exhale there. Slide the knee back in place. Stabilize again. Okay, let's go for the left side. Inhale, left leg back. Slowly slide it around as you inhale. Exhale, slide. See if you can find that internal rotation. So good for the hip joints. Inhale, slide it on over. Exhale, roll through the hip joints and back. Inhale, slide it on over as you draw the navel in. Exhale, back. Let's do like 2 more. Inhale, slide it on over. Exhale, back. Last one. Slide it on over and back. Next one, we slide it on over, keep it about in line with the pelvis, drop it out, walk the left hand forward, and exhale, thread the needle over to the side. So you can combine kind of like the gate pose and thread the needle. So just lean over for a moment, the belly stays in, find the connection into that light side body stretch so that we work length, spaciousness, and strength. Mind is calm. The navel draws in. Stay here for a few breaths. Find your still point. Find the inner body. Find the balance. Calm breathing. No force. Just let yourself feel. And let's draw the left hand back. Press into the left arm. Inhale, come back. Slide the left knee back in, back to your hands and knees. Curl your toes under, walking the hands forward. Inhale up to plank position. Squeeze your thighs into each other and exhale, come on down. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. From downward facing, let's switch your gaze again forward and drop the knees down. Cross your feet behind you and exhale. Let's come on down to seated. Now we begin working some twisting postures. So there are a couple of different modification options for you now. If your lotus and half lotus is a little challenged, you might feel more comfortable sitting on a block. I'll go through this one with you first. So take a moment, place the block underneath both of your sitting bones. Then you'll draw the left knee back and the right leg drops on the floor. And so we're building up to this posture that we know as Bharadvajasana, which is a twisting pose. But to protect the left knee and to the right knee to protect the knees, you're gonna elevate on the blocks as we begin to move into the twists. So if we're working on the blocks, we're again minimizing any stress that's distributed in the knees, particularly if you have tighter hips, this is a better option for you. Now let's work the twist from here. Inhale, lift the center of the chest, and then exhale, lean over, taking the left hand anywhere on the right thigh as you like, gliding that right hand behind, and then just following your spinal twist. We'll hold this here for a couple breaths. Steady breathing, no fight, no force. Mind is nice and calm. So if you don't feel like you need to sit on a block, what this posture might look like, the left knee stays the same, the hips move to the ground. You might need to move your calf muscle out of the way, and then you could glide across. In the same way, if you have your half lotus position, you may be able to actually hold on to your lotus foot, and then you find a different point of stability. Remember, it's not a competition, so whichever version of the posture feels right for you today, I recommend you go for that one. Find what works. to really find the connection into the body. Now we've been in this twist for a while. I think it's probably time to come out. So let's inhale, come on back to the center. Exhale there, pull up the left leg, straighten your legs and just hold it there for a moment. Steady breaths. Now we'll try the other side. So I'll orient forward to you so you can see what's happening. Your left shin is forward, the right knee bends back. You move the calf muscles out of the way, sitting on the block if you need that extra space to give the hip joints a little bit of movement. It could also be just a pillow if a block is maybe too much. Then inhale, lift the center of the chest up, and then exhale, easy spinal twists. So you can just feel the movement crossing the center line of the body. You could take the left hand behind you on the floor. But the key is not to hit it too hard with your right hand, but really distribute the work along the center of the body. And remember, if you feel like, oh, I'm familiar with this pose, I can get into half lotus, then you can go ahead and find your way into Bharadvajasana with the half lotus. But remember, there's really no competition. Whatever feels right for you for today, and I seem to like it there today in my body. So we'll just be calm, breathing, inwardly aware. Remember, no stress. Just find how you can best work. Steady breathing. Take a moment. Feel what you feel as your hips settle. All right, maybe just a few more breaths. Take the time to really feel the body. Make sure that you find a way to work that's really right for you. Let's go for one more breath. And then inhale, come on back to the center. Lean out so you can bring this leg back. Let's straighten the legs forward. So we move legs forward. Hands next to the hips. Just stabilize in Dandasana position for a moment. Point your feet. Bend your knees. Rotate the tailbone a little bit under. And then let's lift the chest. You know what's coming. Oh, let's grab the blocks. So move your blocks on over to either side of your hips. And then we prepare, you know it, Navasana. Point the feet, lean a little back, and we do this progressively, and you want to find the version of Navasana that works for you. Stay for 5 breaths. 1, 2, keep breathing, 3, 4, keep breathing, 5. Okay, let's cross the feet, take your hands on the blocks, lean the shoulders forward, and give me the hips backing up. Exhale. Send it down. Now you can stay with your feet down or lift the legs, and we'll hold it here. 5 more breaths. 1, keep breathing. 2, knees together, arms forward. 3, so a boat, which is Navasana. Navasana, translated into English, means boat. So in the boat posture, you want to find your balance in the center of the pelvis. Okay, let's cross the feet. Inhale, hips backing up. Maybe your feet come off the ground, maybe not. Last one, maybe straight legs, maybe not. Remember, find what works. Don't compete with yourself or anyone else, just find what works. 3, we have all these different options so that you can best make this your practice. 4, one more breath. 5, okay, let's cross the feet. Inhale, hips backing up. Maybe you take it up, maybe not. Exhale, let's set it down. Okay, let's walk the blocks forward. Then, pressing the hands on the blocks, step on back to plank. Now we got plank on the blocks. Hold this for 5 breaths. 2, 3, 4. Come a little forward. Okay, give me one leg plank. 1, 2, harder than it looks. 3, 4, 5. Left leg plank. 1, 2, keep breathing. 3, 4, put it down. Okay, give me chaturanga on the blocks. Inhale, upward facing. Again, stay on the blocks. Exhale, downward facing. Stay on the blocks. Give me your feet together. Inhale, back to plank. Let's just repeat that one more time. Keep it steady. Navel in. Pitch your body weight a little forward. Right leg lifts up. One leg plank. 1, 2, 3. Try to keep the body really aligned. Don't go too much up. 4, 5, and switch. Left leg. 1. Press up from the shoulder. 2. Belly inside. 3, 4, 5. Okay, here we go. Shoulders. Bend your elbows. Go down. Inhale. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Exhale, bend the knees down. Let's come off the blocks, move them on over to the side. Then, wrapping the elbows gently in. Exhale, place the top of the head on the ground. Make sure your hands and your head form a tripod. Wrap your elbows in. We'll just hold this for a couple breaths. So if you go no further than this position, this is kind of like your tripod beginning. So we can just plant our tripod on the ground, your shoulders back. If this is comfortable for you, you don't have any contraindications around your neck, then inhale, stand the legs up. Wrap the elbows in and we'll hold this on the tips of the toes for 5 breaths. Keep your breath steady and calm. No fight, no force, just breathing, feeling. If this feels comfortable for you, give me your right knee on the shelf of the right tricep, left knee on the shelf of the left tricep, and really keep pressing the arms. So stay here steady, no pressure on the neck, okay? It's all on the shoulders and the spine. If this feels comfortable for you, let's float our tripod egg. And again, we're now learning balance in the inverted position, so you can keep the belly drawn in. If this is too much for you, find what works. You can put your feet back on the ground. For those of you who are super proficient in headstand, maybe you can even send the pelvis more up into balance or even come all the way up, right? Remember, eventually, if you return to this class over and over again, I promise you, eventually you'll find your way up in tripod as well. If it's not today, it might be tomorrow, it might be 10 years from now, but the key is keep practicing. A balanced mind is what you learn along the way. Okay, let's exhale, come on down. You can come on back to your tricep shelf. Exhale down, point the knees down, soften the neck, child's pose. Let's stay for a few breaths in child's pose. Releasing the spine, calming the mind, bringing your attention a little bit more inward, finding the path to balance and healing. Bringing your orientation to the space where body and mind are in harmony and unity. Then let's inhale, lift the head up. Walk your hands forward and inhale, come on back to plank pose. We find plank again. You can drop the knees down. Exhale, send the chest forward and down. Inhale, slowly come up. Exhale, fold through and back to downward facing. Again, let's drop the knees down, cross the feet, and come on to seated. From seated position, you can sit on a block again or sit on a blanket. Otherwise, we stay here and we'll fold forward. Whichever cross you feel comfortable with, you can go for that. Holding the elbows behind the back, pivot forward, and if you feel very stressed, you grab a block. Put your head on a block. Otherwise, you could go all the way forward and down. We'll stay here for about 5 breaths. So just feel the mind and feel the body. Coming back. Remember to look for the space between your thoughts and the gap between one thought and another, in the in-between space between inhale and exhale. The postures are here to help you orient to a deeper spiritual state. Not necessarily as an end in and of themselves. Let's go for one more breath. Then inhale, come on all the way up. Let's lift the head up. Draw the spine up out of the pelvis. Open the palms. Place the tips of the index fingers together. Drop the chin down. Deep, steady breathing. Long, deep breath in. Long, deep breath out. Start to really feel breath moving in, breath moving out. Follow the inhalation for the entire length of the inhalation as it drops into the body. Follow the breath for the entire length of the exhalation as it drops out of the body. Feeling the mind, body, and spirit come into balance. Reflecting on the journey that we take together, the constant change that happens through the interaction of breath body and mind. One more long, deep breath in, and as you exhale, softly open the eyes. And I'm going to turn towards you because we're going to do a little bit of alternate nostril breathing just to really help the nervous system come completely into balance. You can close your fingers, opening up either the little finger or these two together, just depends on what you feel more comfortable with, about closing your left nostril. So I've got the right hand, I'm going to use the little finger. You may want to use both. Feel out how it goes. Then we're going to start off by closing the right nostril. So exhale completely. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale left. Exhale right. Now let's switch directions. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale right. Exhale left. Last one. Inhale right. Exhale left. Release your hands. Long, deep breath in. Long, deep breath out. Move over to the side. Roll your spine gently down, keeping the knees bent for a moment. Feel the breath starting to move into a deep point of balance. We're almost there. We'll just stay in a few constructive poses to really wind down. Draw the feet into the body and gently open the knees, placing the blocks under the knees for a little extra support. And we'll just stay Supta Baddha Konasana for a few breaths. Maintain the depth of the breath and notice the change in the nervous system as heart and mind move into coherence and the nervous system moves into that calm and connect space. Dropping down into the sky-like mind so that any thoughts that come in are like clouds rolling through the field of the sky. But the mind is oriented deeper down into the quiet inner space. Whatever intensity may be there, make sure it's safe and comfortable. Let's stay for maybe one more breath. And then roll the knees back into constructive rest position. So wiggle out for a moment, make sure your hips feel comfortable. And we're gonna open the knees and then give me both knees over to the left. And just let that kind of drape down. You may be feeling some pull, especially along the right side, but just let that happen. Avoid poofing up the rib cage, but just take these few moments to just really regulate the mind, the nervous system. Inhale back to the center. Again, stabilize with the pelvis. Exhale, both knees over to the left. And don't force it. It's not like you're trying to put the knees on the ground. You just want to point both knees over to the right and then feel where you hit the resistance point. And then let them be there. Just like, oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah, I feel you. There it is. There it is. Inhale, back to the center, knees together, knees open, stretch out the legs. Exhale, lie down, take rest. Take rest, take rest. Feel the breath and its continual movement in and out of the body, and now bring your attention to the heart center. And as breath moves in and out of the body, open up a portal to a space of healing, balance, and harmony. Whatever places in your body and mind are in need of healing, receive that healing. Whatever parts of body, mind, and life need to come into balance, feel yourself just coming into balance, nice and easy. Always through the heart, moving into that space of healing, harmony, and love. And then allow yourself a long, deep breath in. As you exhale, let's move the fingers, toes, hands and feet. Bend the knees, the elbows. Rest for a moment. Let's draw those knees into the chest. Oh, my body. Thank you, my body. Oh, you're the only body I have, the only vehicle for me to live my life. Hey, my body, I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Roll on over to the side. Rest for a moment. Inhale, come up, eyes closed. Attention at your heart center. Stay there feeling everything you feel, hands in prayer. Be aware of the shift in the practice. Be aware of how your mind and your heart have changed, how your breath has changed, how the body has changed, pointed in the direction of the infinite, towards more peace, more love, more harmony in your life and in the life of all beings. Allow yourself a long, deep breath in. As you exhale, open the eyes. Thank you so much for joining me on this practice. May you be happy, may you be peaceful, and may you be filled with love. Namaste. Thanks so much for joining, everyone. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a really beautiful day, and I'll be back often here on YouTube, so please tune in. If you don't subscribe yet to my YouTube channel, you should totally subscribe. And thanks so much for joining. I'm keeping all these live classes free on YouTube, so there are numerous ways you can support my teaching. All that info is on my website, and if you want the high quality replay, it's on omstars.com. Thanks, Alexandra, for joining. I really appreciate it. I'm glad that you enjoyed the class. And otherwise, carry the little bit of peace that you find in practice into these challenging times. Namaste, everyone.